Good afternoon, grade 8. We are back with question 4.3. Ons is terug met vraag 4.3 en ons moet bewys dat driehoek ABO is congruent aan driehoek DCO. We need to prove that triangle ABO is congruent to triangles DCO. Again, the order matters here. It's not about alphabetical order always. It is about how the triangle is named and the order in which it is named in terms of the letters, and we should follow that order. So we've got triangle ABO and triangle DCO. That is the two triangles. They are joined here by sort of a common point, not by a common side. So there's no common side here. There's simply a sort of common point where two vertices are basically opposite each other. Well, it's actually the same vertex, if you can put it that way. But what's important to note here is the fact that the two angles in the triangles, the opposite angles are vertically opposite angles, so they would be equal already. Remember that from our geometry of straight lines, when two straight lines intersect, the vertically opposite angles are equal. So here we've got line AD and line CB. They are intersecting here. They are two straight lines, so therefore the vertically opposite angles would be equal. Right, so if I look at the given information here, I already have a given angle. It's not given, but we've identified that these vertically opposite angles involved here. Ons kan ook oplet dat daar hierdie pyltjies is, en hierdie pyltjies natuurlik dui aan dat AB en CD evenwydig is aan mekaar. So AB and CD are parallel, and once I see parallel lines in a case like this, I must immediately think of alternate angles, corresponding angles, co-interior angles. Based on how this diagram is drawn up or given, I doubt that we'll be making use of co-interior angles because co-interior angles does not deal with equivalence or equal angles. So, we can cut that one out. Corresponding angles, again, based on how the diagram is drawn, there's no corresponding angles here that's really going to help us, but we of course can see a Z shape or a Z shape, and when you look at the Z form, of course you've got two parallel lines there, and we of course know that that refers to alternate angles looking at the Z form. So we've got here angle C and angle B, they would be equal to each other, right? And then I can also say that angle D and angle A would be equal to each other. Right, that it looks like then all three angles in the two triangles would be equal to each other. Just note, however, angle was not one of the four conditions. There's no such condition for congruency where we can prove that all three angles are equal and therefore it is congruent. That in fact is a condition for similarity, which is something we'll deal with separately. Right, so let's see what we can write down here. So I've got BO, and I'm saying it BO and not OB because in the triangle ABO it is in that order. So BO, so line BO, so the last two letters, and then in this one we've got CO, the last two letters. So they are corresponding sides and they are equal, so that's a corresponding side already, right? And if you look at the rest of the sides, there's no information here that tells us that the other sides are equal. So that means side is not one of the conditions that we're going to be using. We do know, however, that there's quite a bit of information regarding the angles. So it could either be an angle side situation, probably not a side angle side, because again, you would need two sides at least to show that. So my bet is here on angle side. Let's see if we can prove that. So we'll start off again by saying in triangle ABO, weer eens die orde is belangrik, en driehoek DCO. What can we see? So the following is evident in these two triangles. First off, we said that, and it's important to write this properly, angle AOB. So in other words, this angle here, that's AOB. Okay, so in other words, AOB refers to that angle. That angle is equal to angle COD. So COD. You could also say DOC. but in this case, the order is not that important as long as we have the right letter in the middle. So DOC or COD, both of those names refer to that angle over there, and that's important. So that angle and that angle are equal, so they are equal to each other, and the reason for that is vertically opposite angles. In Afrikaans teenoorstaande hoeke. Right, so that's the one. Then we also noted that angle C is equal to angle B. Because of the Z shape there, we've got parallel lines, so angles, and again we need to, of course, I now mentioned angle C first because it was at the bottom here, but in terms of the order in which you wrote the triangle, so ABO, so you would need to mention angle B first. So angle B, which is in triangle ABO, is equal to angle C, which is in triangle DCO. And the reason for that is alternate angles. Verwisselende hoeke. I'm going to just write that part once, the part that says that line AB is parallel to line CD. Okay, so that is the second piece of evidence. The third piece would then be, to complete our condition here, we can say in triangle ABO, we've got BO, side BO equal to side CO. Again, I'm saying it in that order because in the triangle name, we've got side BO listed as B, then O, and in DCO, we've got CO. So BO equal to CO. Oh, I wrote that in the wrong place. Let's just move this over here. Right, so BO equal to CO, and the reason for that is given. They gave that to us, that piece of information was given. So this here. Of course, the order in which you note these three pieces of evidence, it's not that important. It doesn't matter if you mention BO equal to CO first and then angle AOB, etc. As long as you've got three and the reasons are correct, that should be fine. Now we have shown that we've got two angles that are equal and a corresponding side. So we have proven condition number 3. If you remember our condition if you remember our conditions as we wrote them here before, so that would be angle side number 3. Right, so there we can say therefore triangle ABO is congruent to triangle DCO. And the reason for that is angle side, or the condition that makes that true is angle side.